So over the past couple of weeks, I've actually done a couple mods to Patrol that I haven't filmed, but there's good reason for that. So I just came back from a 2,000 kilometer round trip up to Queensland, and I've unpacked the car now, came back, and I thought this is a good time to make a video on a couple things that I've done just to make the camping experience and full driving a little bit easier on my Patrol. So let's check it out. So the first mod is this kick-ass shower awning. I'll give credit to my mate Aaron with the white GU. He got me onto this. I saw it in his car and I started looking it up when I got home, and these things are bloody awesome. So how I've mounted it is I've just used the supplied L-shaped brackets, and I've actually drilled just straight through a mount on the roof rack and just bolted it straight through. So that's secure, that's not going anywhere, and it's in the perfect position I want it in. So this is what it looks like when you take it out of the bag. Super easy to set up. All you have to do is swing these two arms open over here, and then just lock in these latches. There's one here and there's one on the other side, and that's basically it. I usually don't peg it down. If it is a bit windy, it's got 4 points you can peg it down with too. Just to get a bit of shade, jumped in the car, but the shower tents are obviously marketed as a shower tent, but the reason I bought it for was more for actually getting changed. For those of you that have a swag, you know getting changed into swag's really annoying because you don't really have that much room. Obviously you can't stand up. So the amount of times we set that thing up, mainly to get changed, and also when you're at the beach and you want to get out of your swimmers, it's kind of sometimes a bit grotty going to the toilets that's there. Sometimes there are no toilets, or getting changed in the car. You set this thing up, no word of a lie, you'll see on their website, they say like 7 seconds to set up or whatever. I thought that was BS until I actually bought one. It is the most simple thing to set up. I can be a bit lazy sometimes, so I probably wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't that easy to set up, but I'm telling you, it's a piece of piss. The whole thing comes down and folds out. Even folding it back up, once you put those two arms in, all you literally have to do is roll it up and then go straight in the bag. The bag's also a little bit oversized, so it makes it way easier to fit the actual awning in there. Another selling point for me was the weight of it. It only weighs 7 kilos. It's so small that you can put it on a place on your roof rack that doesn't annoy you when you have to get up there and tie other things down like a swag, MaxTrax, fishing rods, whatever else. There's just one thing that kind of annoys me about it, and I'll show you now. So not a massive deal, but because the Patrols or wagons in general are usually quite wide, once you set it up, you can't actually open the door. I've pushed the awning as far back as I can on the rack, and it still comes over the door. And if you can see on this side, the awning actually sits on the car a little bit. So to get around that, I've thought of making like a swing away so the awning actually swings round. I saw somebody on YouTube do it on a canopy on their ute. Thought that was a good idea, but overall, this is a really good buy. The second handy little mod that usually lives on the top of my roof rack, but I have to take them off so I can slide under those 2.1 meter car parks in Sydney, are these shovel or axe holders. They can be called like Clamp It or Quick Fist or something like that. They're all the same. These things are dirt cheap. They're like 20 bucks shipped to your door for 2 of them. Basically zip tie them to the roof rack, one like that and one like that. That's how it sits on the roof. They just go on the shovel like that, and then they've got these little straps, so depending how thick your handle is of your shovel, your axe or whatever you want to hold, you just adjust it from there. Same one on this side. I've been doing 110 down the highway. They've never come off, even just zip tied to the roof rack. So I think they are really good, simple little mod that you can do. I feel like the shovel or an axe is just an awkward kind of dirty thing that you don't really want in your car. Obviously it's easier if you have a ute. Usually I just zip tie it straight to the roof, but it got kind of annoying if your mates want to use it to dig a hole, or if you want to shovel some stuff around. It's annoying having to zip tie it back up there when you leave your camp. So with those things up there, it's just so easy. You just undo your little latch, take your shovel out, then when you want to put it back in, just pull your little latch back over and it's all done. Moving on to the inside, one thing that was an absolute pest was this big camp table here. When you want to make a couple tuna wraps for lunch, you shouldn't have to pull out a big camp table and then find somewhere to actually put it. So the solution for that was to put these little barn door tables. I've got one here and then one right here. I thought these things were pretty sick. I saw it on another YouTube video. They're pretty well made. It also matched my drawers, which I didn't mean to do, but how good, I'll take that as a coincidence. The big one is obviously a bit more usable than the small one, but you could always just put little plates on the small one and like even your stove or something on the big one. They're just on this bungee cord, so I just pull that down. It's a drop down table, they're pretty self-explanatory. I also went ahead and changed this trim because they were both getting pretty grotty, and it's the same thing for this little one. Undo the bungee cord, table drops down, both quite well built, and it saves so much space without having to use this stupid thing. And before someone says it in the comments, someone's gonna say, oh, but you can't pull your drawer out. Well, you can. I can pull my drawer out enough so that I can get this box out, and then that will get the other box out, and I can still access my drawers. So that was bloody good. So I did my homework online before I decided on these tables. You basically have 3 options. The first one being you make one yourself. There's plenty of good things on Facebook Marketplace, plenty of posts out there of people making their own. But just for me, I just found time-wise and quality-wise, my one probably wouldn't be as good as these tables, but it's definitely doable if you wanted to do it. Probably 100 or 200 bucks would get you there. The second option were these tables. So I just found this guy on Facebook, JC Customs. I actually found another YouTube video of a guy putting on his patrol, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I looked it up, and they cost me around 300 bucks plus shipping. And that also came with the door cards and all the other hardware for it. The only thing I had to do was use a riv nut gun and put some M5 riv nuts in the actual door where the plastic clips were before, so that I could hold the whole door card on. Then your third option, which is one I really liked, but it was just way out of my budget, was the Patrol Australia tables. They look really well built and really well thought out. It's even got a little swing down here with a leg, so you basically double your table space, but I couldn't justify paying 800 bucks for it. The second interior mod is a seat organizer. This thing is an absolute lifesaver. I actually knew where everything was instead of keeping it in a bloody Woolies bag like I usually do. I bought this seat organizer. I'm not saying buy this one. This was about 120 bucks, so it's a little bit pricey. You can buy cheaper ones. I've even seen people put it on the cargo barrier, which I think is a really good idea. But for me, this one worked. I just keep like my head torches and stuff in here. I have my personal locating beacon in there just in case. Toilet paper, first aid. I usually keep sunscreen as well as insect repellent here. And this is just like a knife, camp lantern, and some tissues. This thing is absolutely gun. It sounds silly. It's such a simple thing to do. But in terms of keeping stuff organized, literally open the door, come in the car, pick what you want, and then walk out. The seat organizer is just one of those things that I definitely should have done earlier. The last thing you want when you're at camp at night is fumbling around your car when your car's chockers full of your stuff, trying to find your head torch. When you're at the beach trying to fumble around to find your sunscreen. This just makes it so much easier. I know exactly where everything is. There's heaps of different pockets on this one, which I really liked, and there's actually different configurations you can buy it from. I've had Drifter stuff before. I know it's good quality. I know the price is a little bit up there, but I've been really happy with my Drifter awning that I've got up there. It's kind of comparable to like your King Swag and stuff. I've had a King Swag for 4 years now, and it's been great. It is time for a change though. If you do have one, you'd notice kind of the zippers are really annoying and they always get stuck and whatnot. They're just not the greatest quality. That's why I went with the Drifter one, just because I didn't want to have that hassle, especially this thing has like a million zippers on it. I didn't want them to get stuck because that would just annoy me. That's about it for this video. As usual, I'll put all the links of everything I've listed in the description so you guys can click on everything that I've shown so far. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.